We want to find the following, starting with 1 1/4, add 2 2/5. Now, in the introduction, we recommended turning these into improper fractions. I'm going to do it that way first, and then I'm going to show you an alternative. So as an improper fraction, 4 times 1 is 4, add 1 is 5. So that one is 5/4. 5 times 2 is 10, add 2 is 12, so that's 12/5. Now with denominators of 4 and 5, the lowest common multiple of 4 and 5 is 20. And so what we're going to do is express these both as equivalent fractions over 20. Now, think about the 4. I multiplied that by 5, so I need to do the same to the 5 on top here, and that will give me 25. With the 5, that got multiplied by 4. And so I get 48 on top there, 12 times 4. That gives me 73/20. 20 goes into 73 3 whole times, and 3 times 20 is 60, giving me a remainder of 13. So I've got 3 13/20. Now what's the alternative? What I can do is split the fraction up. So I take the 1 from here and the 2 from here, and then I add on the 1/4 and add on the 2/5. So that gives me 3, add a 1/4, add 2/5. Now let's work with the fractions. So we want them over a common denominator of 20. The 4's been multiplied by 5, do the same to the 1. 5's been multiplied by 4, do the same to that 2. So that would make it 8. And then I've got 3 add 13/20, which is 3 13/20. So you see we get the same result. And really, this is quite a good way of doing this, but it does run into problems. But then again, this runs into problems as well. Already the numbers are quite big here. Could you imagine if we had something like 7 4/17 and we were working with that? The numbers would start to get huge. So both methods do have problems. Now I'm going to do this one both ways as well, and we'll discuss more of the sort of problems that come with the second method. So this one is 3 3/7, take away 1 1/4. 7 times 3 is 21, add 3 is 24, so we've got 24/7. 4 times 1 is 4, 1 is 5, so 5/4. The best denominator for 7 and 4 is going to be 28, just 7 times 4. So the 7, I've multiplied that by 4, do the same to the 24. And we've got 96. So we're getting some big numbers here. This is one of the downsides of this method. The 4 gets multiplied by 7, so does the 5. Now 96 take away 35 is 61. So we've got 61/28. 28, 2 of those is 56, so it goes in 2 whole times and gives us a remainder of 5/28. So the numbers were quite big, and that's a downside of this method. What about the other method? 3 3/7 take away 1 1/4. Well, we can start with doing the 3 take away 1 here. But then, because the 3/7 was part of this positive number, we have to add 3/7. And then because the quarter is part of this number that's being subtracted, we have to take away a quarter. So that's 2 plus, then the denominator is still going to be 28, 7 times 4. So we multiply this one by 4, do the same to the 3. We multiply the 4 by 7, do the same to the 1. And so I've got 2 plus 5 over 28, which is 2 and 5 over 28. And you might say, what's the problem with that? This was actually easier. Yep, I'd agree, it was. But what do you do if a quarter is more than 3/7? And we end up here with a negative fraction? You've then got to take it away from 2. Students often get confused by that. They also get confused at this step with what's added and what's subtracted. I'm just pointing this out. If you like this method, then do it, but be aware of those problems. Okay, so with the next examples, I'm just going to do them the one way. So let's make this improper. 4 times 2 is 8, 1 is 9, so that's 9 over 4. And here, 8 times 1 is 8, add 3 is 11, so that's 11 over 8. But note, my best common denominator here is not 4 times 8 is 32. You can do that, it just makes the numbers bigger, and then you have to cancel down at the end. The best denominator here is 8, because both 4 and 8 go into 8. So what I'm going to do is just change the first fraction, multiplied 4 by 2, do the same to the 9. And this fraction stays exactly the same, and then we've got the same denominator, so we just do 29 over 8. 8 goes into 29 3 times exactly, and 3/8 of 24, leaving us a remainder of 5. So it's 3 and 5/8. To say 9/10 less than 4.5 means to do 4.5 take away 9/10. 2 times 4 is 8, 1 is 9. So I've got 9 over 2, take away 9 over 10. Once again, my best denominator is actually going to be 10. 2 and 10 both go into it. So the second fraction stays the same. 2's been multiplied by 5, do the same to the 9. And so I get 36 over 10. 10 goes into 36 3 whole times. 3 10s are 30, so that leaves me a remainder 6. And of course, that 6/10 is not simplified. And you can't really give this as a mixed number with an unsimplified fraction part. So 6 over 10, both of those divide by 2, giving us 3/5.